Cool. So I thought it might be worth a quick sort of recap of where we got to before. So you know, we got this app up and running that displays all the bookmarks we've imported, and we have a really basic Chrome extension up and running. We ran into a lot of problems last time with the authentication, so we just skipped that out for now. And to be honest, the biggest mistake that I was making is I skipped out the PRD, so I was just prompting cursor. You know, you can kind of see here is just prompting it and using context 7 to give us some context and up-to-date documentation about what we were using. But today, a little bit bored of failing all the time, so we're going to use this. So it's Task Magic, written by Ian Nuttall. You can go watch a video about it. I'll post this. Post this in the chat. So yeah, essentially a lot of people have been making PRDs that rely on, you know, using third-party systems. You need another LLM to get involved. There's always sort of something else, whereas this is all based around cursor rules and how cursor rules work. So I've been playing around with this pretty much all week, and to be honest, I had quite a bit of success. So I've built a few features in Scrapesy with it. So yeah, I've already installed it. So you just drop it in here, and if we go start a new chat, obviously using Claude 4, not just because it's half price at the minute. Thank you, cursor. But yeah, if we go down here, so we've initialized everything. Ask your assistant to create a new feature plan using this. So what we would do is we would go here. I've already forgotten what the thing is. Yeah, so plans. So you tag that file, and we want to create a plan for adding authentication. Cool. So we give it that. You'll see some nice little thinking coming out here. So it just kind of does a check of itself. Oops. Guess what I shouldn't have done is skip to section. So it creates this kind of global plan, and then you'll get a specific plan for the feature that you want. And then what you do is you get it to generate the tasks based on the plan, and then you work through each task. So . you can kind of see here it's pretty spot on. It's kind of keeping a track of where we are with this, and then the whole idea is you can check this planning and keep working from it. So here you go. Here's the actual sort of PRD for this. So I found it's worth kind of skipping through these things. I've just noticed this, which always makes me chuckle. Helps if I am sharing my screen. So yeah, you can see here it's kind of, we've got PRD, feature implements comprehensive, blah blah blah, photo of, put multiple authentication providers, enable Chrome extension. Just gonna bin this off because we don't massively care about that right now. We can secure non-goals, yeah, okay. Okay, now we've got that up and running. You can see here, you kind of, so what we would now do is you tag that tasks rule, and then just generate tasks for, and then tag our plan. This is quite handy. That, I don't know, I quite like this system. It's all just neatly built inside of cursor. You don't really need to context switch. I think it might be handy once you know, if there was like an extension in VS Code that allowed you to kind of visualize what was going on, because what you'll see in a minute is there's kind of like a progress and a dependency, so you can see what's going on. So if I just take you into one of these, can you see here it's got created that, started that, completed that. Error log, this one's not got any dependencies. I assume this is to support background agents. And then you can see in the second task that, you know, to create the registration form, we already need to have sort of better off set up. So it's just going to churn through and create them for a minute. Guess is the only problem with doing this kind of stuff live is that, you know, I feel like this system's very thorough at generating these tasks. The only downside to it being thorough is it takes a while. And you know, if I wasn't streaming this is you know, one of them times where you put something on TV in the background, or put YouTube on, or read a book and just wait for the little bell to go off that tells you it's done. I'm sure it will be done at some point. I say. Hopefully you can see here it's creating a lot of tasks. I wouldn't worry like about how many tasks it is creating. You know, one of the things I've learned building while using LLMs is that, you know, the more specific and small that a task can be is better, and helps it stop getting lost in what it should be doing. I think if we're getting towards testing and security hardening, we've got to be getting close to the end of it all. There we go. So at the end, it will just give you this breakdown of all the tasks that it's created. And there we go, biddly bong. So if we just have a quick look, so verify, yeah, set it up, update Prisma, implement email, verification, password reset. So you can see here it's got everything that we might need. So if we go back to here, so in theory all we need to do now is go and hopefully this is another one of them moments where, you know, you just kind of sit back, put your feet up for a bit. The nice thing is as well is you can see it's updated the started out, it's got an assigned, it's in progress now. So this would really, like, you could build a UI over this that would just kind of visualize it better for you than looking at things like this. I'll tell you one thing that is interesting is that it's not used context 7 to work this stuff out. And hopefully what we should see relatively soon is that we'll go and update this task file that we're looking at here. And then we'd move on to the next one. And not actually even sure what it's doing at this point, to be honest with you. I'm never sure with yeah, so it does just kind of carry on. It's just weirdly slow at that point that it'll be interesting to see if Claude 4 actually see, that's interesting. So before it kind of defaulted to having this stuff installed, and now it's not. So this is quite neat. I've not seen it do this before. I know why. Doesn't like the fact that I already had this running. I guess what it actually wants is the output of that. It's interesting that it can't work out that it got 404. I mean, this is starting to think more like how an actual developer would think as well, you know, just temporarily disabling troublesome functionality and actually understanding what's going on. I mean, I know that this isn't going to have fixed it as well, which is kind of stupid, but it is quite interesting to see it being a bit more methodical in the way it works. And yeah, it's going. Back into that bit where I'm like, is this even running? What's this doing? It's interesting that it just thinks everything will fix the issue. I think while it's doing this, I'm going to erase it to see if I can fix better roll for myself. Okay, let's just stop you there. So there, documentation is saying that this should be that. Off to Next.js handler, okay. I'm just going to okay, and then the documentation's saying to have this as well. Okay. Apparently. So yeah, I think this is one of the things I quite like about the workflow in Cursor is that you can kind of just interrupt it and go off and figure it out yourself. Is there even meant to be a session endpoint? The issue is clear now. Evidently not. I mean, that's not doing anything, is it? I'm just gonna have a quick look why. because I don't actually know what they're... Perfect. So just got the documentation wrong. Wonderful. This is some very thorough testing it's doing. Cool. So we've got all of that working now. Cool. So what we can now do is we can now carry on. And what we can do is we can jump into here and be like, let's continue working through the tasks. So hopefully what this should now do is go, our task 1's done, task 2's ready to go, which is what it's going to do. And you can kind of see it's referring to things that it's done from previous tasks, which is quite handy. I'm wondering whether it's worth having some kind of memory bank set up, because, you know, we have resolved that, the issue with the database table and stuff now, so. And it's kind of now relearning whether it has just set better author properly. You know, which is, I guess that it's good that it's thorough, but isn't particularly, wouldn't say it's particularly effective use of time. I don't actually know what this login form was doing before. It's interesting that it's where's the other one? login. Now I don't know whether this is Task Magic itself or just Claude 4 being a bit more thorough, but I'm quite liking this. This more conscious approach to testing. This is definitely making everyone's life easier, because I think so far we've not really hit too many roadblocks that haven't been, you know, easily gotten around. Come on. 25 tool limit is a bit annoying though, so I guess if any cursed developers ever end up watching this, please consider fixing that. So that's it, another task. Job done. Should we have a look at how the UI is looking now? Okay, that's quite neat. I mean, ugly, but neat. So there we go. Tick, 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 all completed. I mean, this is quite interesting as well. I kind of expected it to work through them one by one, but it's now deciding to go through them based on priority order. Yeah, I still think we're at the point where, you know, as a developer, I kind of, you know, I understand what's going on. I know what it's trying to do. I still think this would be really difficult if this was, you know, all you knew about software development was from, you know, from LLMs themselves. But I guess that would be what it would be, wouldn't it? But I think, you know, I think the main thing that we've learned in this live stream so far is that I should have used Task Magic from day one, and it's all Ian's fault that he didn't release it sooner. I think you've kind of got a gist for how Task Magic's working. So just as a reminder, you know, this Task Magic, the link for it is in the chat. I'll pop it in the description as well. And yeah, I think we'll do one more live stream at some point, which will just be me showing how it's all working. But I don't think there's much point in people sitting here for much longer and watching this continue going. So I hope it was useful. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want me to cover. Other than that,